Alright, so let's have a look. Just a quick setup, guys. Sorry about this. I usually do this. Just want to make sure that everything's working fine. Something tells me... Oh, yep, we're loading. Okay, good. So, hello one and all. Today I'm going to be going over the D&D Beyond, which launched, I believe, this week. Officially. Now, some of the content on this is still locked. I've been following this since the beta, so I've been seeing the progression of this happening bit by bit. Now that it's available to everyone, you can just go ahead and subscribe into this. They do have a Twitter account, they do have a Facebook account, you can do notification, you can private message each other. It's a huge community, and what I like about it is, oh, there goes my camera. Didn't even realize. What I really like about this is the fact that you have everything you need, especially as a dungeon master. You have everything you need. It's very helpful to progress with this because it kind of does everything for you, and you can carry out wherever you go. Since all of the content is online, the first thing you do need to do is you do need to create an account. Usually, for some reason, actually, from my end, they asked me to create a Twitch account, which I do have. The link is below. And, well, here I am. I'm doing my own thing. So let's get over this really quickly, because otherwise I'm going to just talk about stuff without showing you. So on the screen here you have your rulebook content, right? So you can create your own characters, you can homebrew your own content. There's Monsters and Villains with Mike Miller's, which is a recent video that's been uploaded here 15 hours ago actually. So just yesterday. You have creating characters 2 days ago. He goes over all of this detail with you as a person who's been part of the project, you know. So once you do come on here, it immediately gives you this bar, and this is what you'll be using the most, right? You have my content, characters, the compendium, or I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but anyways, you have rules and adventures, basically spells, items, monsters, marketplace, and forums. I think the first thing that I want to introduce, especially for those of you who just play D&D rather than dungeon master the whole thing, rather than being the game master, is character creation. So the first thing you're going to do is, when you look at here, you have my characters, which is, you can have up to 6 characters. I'm just going to show you mine really quickly. These are not my characters. These are characters that are playing in my campaign. I haven't played in a very long time. Let's just put it that way. So over here I use up 3 character slots out of 6 already. I don't think you can expand the character slots. It doesn't make sense to. These are 3 of the guys from my campaign. If you go into my channel, you see the first chapter with 6 players. But these are 3 of them. All 3 of them are actually in that video. So feel free to discover who Mo is, and who Ragnar is, and who Mulch is. Actually, Mulch isn't there, coming to think of it. Okay, so without further ado, so you know that you can create 6 characters. Now, if you go to Character Builder, the fun part about this is that you have either standard, quick build, or randomize. It really depends on you. If you know exactly what you want and you have an idea where you're going with it, you want to go for standard. If you want to do a quick level 1 character, that kind of the system does it for you. You go for a quick build, and randomize is just the whole thing, just gives you a random character. What I prefer, since I'm a big fan of creating the character and tailor making the character to what I want, I would go for the standard. If you're a first-time player, I go for a quick build. That's definite. Or if you're not so experienced, you've been playing a couple of sessions and you're still trying to grasp how the game works, quick build is always good. Randomize is something I would recommend for DMs if you want to create a random NPC for your campaign. That's where it goes. The best part is if you do want to go for a standard creation, which is a step-by-step, it does give you a help text on what you're doing. And it's also ideal for beginners if you feel competent enough to understand what's going on. That's where you want to go. And not to mention also, if you go under the characters tab again, you have the explanation with the races, classes, the backgrounds, the feats. It explains everything in detail. Everything's still found in the compendium with the rules and adventures, well, in the rules section mostly. So let's just go ahead and go through character standard creation. So I'm not going to create a character in much detail. I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say I want to create a character. Under my name, you can select from a number of frames. So if you already know what you want to go for, you kind of select the relevant avatar, portrait, whatever you want to call it. So it's, well, this is just a portrait, so I'm just going to just show you real quickly. There's different races. We are moving by the 5th edition, by the way, so far. So forget seeing anything from the forts, like particular. Oh, actually, they do include devas in here. But then again, 5th edition has kind of crammed up a lot of the races. Okay. So those are pretty much the portraits. I'm just going to go ahead and select myself one. This is where I become really picky. Let's have a look. Sure, let's create a drow. I don't mind being a drow. So a drow, for those of you who are not familiar with the content, it is a dark elf. So, I love custom stuff. Yeah, sure. As a DM, I love to custom stuff. I go with XP, very traditional. Center the rules. Let's go for the variant type. Hit points, I like to have them manually made. And show alarm strike, definitely. Because if I want to punch someone straight in the face just for saying something stupid, I would. Okay, so from what you gathered, we do have a type of elf. So Eladrin is like a superior type of elf. But then you have the high elf and then you have the wood elf. Since I'm playing as a drow, I don't know. I think it would have came under D. So it would have to go under elf. I'm just going to go with a high elf. Gives you... This is the best part. If you're not sure and you kind of want to go through what there is, you have everything from the racial bonus, ability score increase, so you know what you're going for. Gives you a lot of detail, and that's the best part. You can obviously skim through it. Now I exited simply just so I can show you that there is a variety of races. But this is the selection so far. Okay, so let's go ahead and create my high elf. So once again, it kind of goes over the details over here. The reason why it goes over them here, because at the end, I have to select my cantrip, which I think I'm just going to go for... let's have a look. Seeing I'm a fey creature, so it's a magical creature. I do get born with some kind of magic, I guess. I'm going to go for create bonfire because that's perfect, especially if I'm going to be traveling a lot, and you know, if taverns are a scarce, or if my party happens to be chaotic enough to not be able to sleep in an inn or tavern, that's going to create a bit of a problem. So it's just creating it for me. It's a bit slow today. Usually happens quite fast. At least you can still scroll, so yeah. And if you don't like what you read as well, sorry about that by the way. If you don't like what you read, it does give you an option to change the race. So that's completely fine. It's very flexible. I love that they kind of designed the website to be very flexible. Okay, this is taking a bit way too long. I'm just gonna try to see if I refresh. Right. So it selected my cantrip. I don't know why it was taking too long. And I get to choose another language. Let's go for Dwarvish. Okay, so class. Now this is the best part. So you're going to select your class. You have the standard classes. So Barbarian, quite a brute, bases a lot on anger and rage. Bard is music magic, I guess. A lot of people do not consider bards that much. It kind of comes later after experience games. Cleric is something you do need in the party from time to time. My party doesn't even have a cleric, I think, at this point. Druids, pain in the ass. I've got one already. Fighter is something you definitely need. Monk is another. I mean, it's an experienced fighter, in my opinion. You have to think of like the drunk monk fighting style thing. It's not a healer. It's not at all. Well, they do have healing hands, but they kind of fight a martial arts stance. Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. If you do want to go for magic casting, I do suggest you do read through Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. They're very different from each other. Those of you experienced players would know. It took me a while because most of my players do not play the magical sort. However, I happen to have 2 sorcerers now and a warlock, and I can see the difference very clear where they're going with this. So in my case, I love to play the rogue. The rogue is pretty strong and sneaking around and everything. I've always been pretty good. So over here kind of starts you off. You can make a higher level creature. In the 5th edition rules, you can only level up to level 20. Which only makes sense, seeing how hard it is to kind of climb up the ladder if you're going with traditional XP, which the system kind of does for you. So let's just go ahead. So my proficiency is going to have to be in acrobats, athletics, stealth, and sleight of hand. That's definite. I didn't even have to beat an eye about and say going through this. Expertise, once again, we get to choose. I'm going to go for sleight of hands and thievery tools, which is something I really do need. And I'm just going to give him basic 1 level, especially if you're starting a campaign. The others are level 11 simply because I had to kind of bring them up to speed with the campaign. Videos will be coming up very soon once I finish putting them all together. And you get to manage your HP. So we do know for sure that it's going to be a 1d8 plus Constitution modifier. What you can do, definitely, if your Dungeon Master allows it, you can override the HP for a certain amount. The modifier would be here, so your Constitution modifier is here. I really don't like that they brought it up so early into the character creation. And manage XP as well. So you get to tell him, okay, so I have X amount of XP, which I think you're going to have to go through. Here, write the number. You add XP type value, remote XP. So yeah. So let's just go ahead and max that up to 8 HP. Okay, hold on, why? rolled up HP, override HP, apply. There we go. Okay, so I think this is what you're going to be using the most as a player, more than anything. Then we're going to go to spells and items, depending on what you're choosing, right? So over here, you kind of go and create your stats. You can go for the standard array, which is you write, you kind of choose where you're going with it. You can go manual. So if you already have a character sheet, you just want to bring it on board, you kind of write your stuff here. So in my case, it would be such. So weight dexterity would go up to 16. Constitution would be 10. Intelligence 11. Wisdom 8. Charisma, what am I missing? 13. So I can do that quite easy. If this is still your first time using it, I would recommend going for the standard array or the point buyer. The point buyer is pretty good simply because you kind of buy points. So you start with 27 points. This is very similar to when you're playing something like World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade. If you play that game, this is how they use the system usually. They give you an amount of points and you kind of set them accordingly. So every time you kind of go up points, you're going to see that there's expenditure of points every single time. So let's just say dexterity, I want to max out to 15. So there, boom, you immediately kind of feel like a drastic change there. Constitution, let's just go ahead and bring that up to 10. Let's bring everything up to 10 because I really don't like having a negative modifier to start with. And we kind of move on with the last 8 points. So, and it actually updates everything back for you. So if you want to lower something, it gives you 2 points back. If you want to upgrade something, it's going to tell you how many points you're going to be spending. So that's pretty cool. So let's have a look. So yeah, anyway, so that's pretty much it. If there are other modifiers that you want to keep intact, again, that's more for something like if you already have a character and use. I don't bother choosing anything else there. You can choose your background because in 5th edition that makes a big difference. If you look through the 5th edition handbook, especially towards the back, when you start saying, okay, I'm coming from a criminal spy background, or I'm a folk hero of my city, or I'm a noble born with X amount of gold, sage, soldier. In my case, I'm a rogue, I'm a criminal spy. I do expertise in persuasion and investigation. And then you're going to tool of preference. This is something I never understood, to be honest. I haven't delved too much in the 5th edition. So, in fact, I don't think there are thievery tools, to be honest, here, which is something I do need. So let's go with loot. And okay, let's go with disguise kit because I'm going to be running around. Again, there's a lot of things to read when you're building your character. You can start building this up slowly and take notes. If you open up like Word or Notepad and just start listing down your flaws, your ideals, your bonds, personality traits. You can choose your alignment from here. So I'm going to be chaotic neutral, faith, lifestyle. So I'm poor. So it kind of starts setting it up. You kind of do your hair. So my hair is white. Skin is black because I'm a drow. Eyes yellow. Height, age. I think the age you actually have We're here, gender, male. So personality, and you add your own traits, right? A bit. It's when creating a character, you want to put your heart and soul into it because you're going to be probably sticking through it for the majority of the campaign unless you die. Um, so that's something. And then you have, so as you can see over here, so it's home, race, class, abilities, description. You're coming down to equipment now, and this is where you kind of add your stuff. There's nothing available here at the moment. Inventory, you can add items. So you can start building your backpack already from here. In my case, I'm just going to go straight for armor first. This will determine my AC. Okay, so studded leather. That sounds pretty much like something I would have. So I went ahead and done that. I'm going to be having a weapon. We're going to go for daggers. So what I want to do is I want to add up to 5 daggers and 5 items. And I want to have a crossbow hand. I wonder if there's going to be... Oh, there we are, darts. So I do want to carry up to 10 darts. Fine. Okay, cool. So that's my weapon. And you keep doing this kind of thing, you know. Over here is mostly what you're going to be using as equipment. So once that's done, you're going to see your inventory is already pumped up to, in my case, it's already pumped up to 8. That's going to tell me. Again, what I don't like about this is the fact that each and every dagger is kind of put here. At least the darts they kind of put there, so that's cool. So I'm going to just go ahead and wear that really quickly. I'm just going to be wielding 2 daggers, because I can. I should have dual wielding. You're going to start off with currency. So in my case, I always start around with 50 silver and perhaps 10 gold. So 15 gold pieces, there you go, as an actual currency if I just want to go with standard gold. Starting equipment. So you kind of go through this. Starting equipment, wait a bit, where is it? Okay. Gives you a bit of setting of the rules. Going next, you're done. You've come together. Most D&D characters don't work alone. Each character plays in a role, blah, blah, blah. And you can view your character sheet. And you have everything set here. So this is my stats, which aren't looking good simply because I didn't bother doing well on them. Gives you all of that. Unarmed strike, there you go. Does 1 damage. When I roll a 1d20, there's a +2 to my result. If I succeed, I deal 1 damage. I'm currently holding 2 items, and it gives me details of each and every item there. My armor class is 15, simply because I'm already wearing armor. Managing my inventory right here. I can add items along the way. Over here it's going to tell me whether I use a short rest or a long rest. So it's really helpful. Background, if you want to describe yourself, if you want to keep using a character in other people's campaigns, this is definitely going to be helping out, because even if, like, for example, okay, you've reached level 8, for example, and he wants to drop you down to level 1 again because he's got level 1 people, you can just go ahead to manage experience and go from, or he wants to jump users and it's a level 10 campaign, and you go like, sure, I'd like to level up. Wouldn't have a problem with that. So that's pretty much it. Okie dokie. So, sorry, I just got a quick phone call. Apologies.